Excellent. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. My name is Paul Pursuti, and I'll be your host for our Oakland Center's Wednesday night midweek oasis. So we call it the midweek oasis on Wednesday night so that it's a place where we can gather as a community to be spiritually refreshed between Sundays. Most Wednesday night services build upon the theme of the previous Sunday, sharing in a satsang style, building off science of mind principles and practices with the intention that these gatherings be informal, intimate, and interactive in the most richest of ways. Last Sunday, Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman introduced ideas inspired by the talk title of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And tonight, our speaker, practitioner Susan Urquhart-Brown, will continue the exploration of this same topic. Our annual theme is 2023 Living Out Loud. And our monthly theme for May is Light Within the Shadow. So as we gather tonight, we welcome you, whether you're here live with us or watching us on the YouTube at a later time. We're so glad you decided to join us. Early in her ministry, Reverend Sunshine invited us to come to the center well. Come well. And in order to do so, she shared these 6 C's for us to consider. Come with a heart of love and tenderness, also known as compassion. Come ready to exchange openly, what we call communication. Come in harmony and ready to share. This is known as camaraderie. Come in partnership and cooperation. I'd like to say collaboration. And come in spiritual awareness and truth. For all of us, that's consciousness. As we move into the program tonight, these 6 C's are the premise of sharing a wonderful evening with you tonight. So welcome. And we welcome anybody that's new joining us for the first or maybe second time. And if you are new to our community, please visit the homepage a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and click on the I'm New icon and look at the lower left-hand corner of that page to submit your email address. Once you do, you'll begin receiving the Village News newsletter once a week in your email. It has all the information on what is happening at the center in the coming weeks. A couple of housekeeping notes. It's probably best if you go into gallery view if you're not there already, so you can see everyone. And as the talk is going on, we're going to ask you to mute your sound or your microphone. That way it won't interfere with any external sound. You can leave your camera on. I recall from when we first started, we didn't dare leave our camera and our microphone on because Zoom wasn't strong enough, but Zoom is strong enough now. So if you want to leave your camera on, that's fine. But we do ask that you mute your sound. That will help us get through the program without maybe some moderate interruption anyways. And please stay tuned through the end of the service to receive special and important announcements. As we do with every organized event here at our center, we open with prayer. And tonight, our meditator is also going to open us in prayer, practitioner Christopher Brown. So will you do the honors, sir, this evening for us?
Yes, Paul, thank you. So let's bless this meeting this evening. And we'll do so by gently closing our eyes and returning to that inner sanctuary. And as we take a breath in, we feel the breath move into our body. And this feeling tone gives our body a sense it's time to relax and to receive the prayer at a very deep level. And in this sanctuary, the sanctuary of silence and safety and communion, I speak a word of blessing, blessing our whole sound team, our team of Constance and Alice and Peter this evening. I bless our fabulous host, Paul Prasuti, back from sabbatical. And I especially bless Susan, our speaker tonight, as she delivers a powerful message of turning within and listening to that place within us that shines so brightly. And she delivers her message with ease and fun and delight. And with this, I simply bless our meeting together. And we do so and confirm it by saying, and so it is.
And so
And
it is.
so it is. Amen.
Amen. As I said earlier, Susan Urquhart-Brown is our speaker tonight. Her talk title is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Shining Your Light. Susan has been serving as a practitioner at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living for close to 15 years. Susan, we're so glad to have you here. We're so appreciative of everything that you do for us, both personally and professionally. So thank you in advance. And so now I turn the program over to you.
Thank you, Paul. So I really need to take a breath. I do have some water behind me, and I was going to have a palm tree, but it was waving too much. I thought people might get dizzy. So here's some water. So a year ago, I had an inspiration or something that ended up shining my light, a little twinkling star that came to me and said, it's time to do a retreat, a yoga retreat. And Costa Rica, those are the first two words I heard, was Costa Rica. And I said, oh, am I just traveling there? And they go, oh no, you're going to do a retreat there. So I actually arrived home from that a week ago. And I took 3 days to kind of decompress and just have a nice, lovely trip to the Arenal volcano. And if anybody's been there, they have wonderful hot rivers that go down the hill. It's just delightful. So thank you so much for coming. And so this is about shining our light or twinkling. And I just like you, as I begin to share, think about how you twinkle in the world, how you're a twinkle, twinkle, little star, or how you share your brightness and your bright light, because each and every one of us does in our most unique way. So, so a couple things. Let me get my right paper here. So one of the things that came to me with this vision of going to Costa Rica, I, of course, came up with some reasons why maybe I shouldn't do it, because I've never done a retreat all by myself, because I've had Christopher or other yoga teachers that I've worked with. But I refuse to listen to all of the excuses. And, you know, I don't have to bore you with them. Some of you can make them up for yourself. So I really decided to go ahead with that. But of course, one big question when you put out something that's big that involves a journey and a trip, you wonder, well, will enough people come? And so I'm happy to say we had a wonderful group of 16 people who joined me, a number from OCSL. And the place we went was so welcoming. And I think I mentioned earlier when we were, before this whole program started, that I discovered that everyone I met in Costa Rica was very kind, very friendly, very helpful. And it just had, wherever we went, of course, we were in a beautiful retreat center on the beach. that there was this kindness and then this helpfulness, and they would come to us and just do things that were unexpected. So so I like to acknowledge that, as that is often what I find at OCSL when we are there together, that we are there together to shine our light, to help each other, to be kind, and let's not forget to have fun. So I just like to remind people of those qualities. And that also is what is behind shining your light. Of course, I had questions about, well, could I do it myself? And all of those things that I don't have to really go into, because I just listened and I said, is this mine to do? And I got a big yes. So, and it actually turned out to be a most wonderful experience. And of course, everything that happened there was because of our location, where we were, the program, the people, and just made it very easy to shine my particular light. So when an idea, now you probably have had this happen in your life, that you have this little message that sort of shows up, maybe when you're meditating, and you're a little bit surprised, and sometimes you don't want to listen to it or believe that that idea is possible. But I just want to encourage you to actually listen to what your heart is speaking to you and to follow that. And of course, always along the way, ask for any help that you need. So one of my big questions was, how can I do this by myself? And then I realized I wasn't doing it by myself, just to use me as an example, because I had all the supporting people at the center. We got fed beautiful, wonderful, delicious meals. And there was just always someone there to answer questions, to help you. And that's a feeling, Tone, that is what I feel at the Oakland Center as well. So I would like you to take a breath, and I'm going to ask you a question, and I'd like you to just go into your space right now, if you would like to close your eyes, and think of something. Is there something calling you to be or do? Like I had this calling. What is calling you? It can be anything. It can be little or big. Just listening. So go ahead and close your eyes, look within, and ask you that question. What is calling me? It could to be something, it could do something, anything that would come to you. Just listen. And I invite you not to say the words, yes, but, or I can't. So just listen. Good. So something has probably popped up. And so let's stick with whatever that is, because that is coming through our Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star tonight to you to take a look at with a wonderful partner. So I thought I'd start out a little bit early with going into partners and just sharing with each other what came up for you with that question. And so, Peter, would you take us into breakout rooms, please? Is Peter here?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, great.
Susan, unmic yourself. There you go.
I'm busy talking. Nobody can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All
Yeah.
right. So, what would you like to share from your group discussion? What came up for you?
I'll start by saying
Okay.
how immediate an answer came up. Something just came up. It was like, wow. Doesn't matter what it did, what came up. I don't need to share that, but something
Mhm.
was there immediately.
Okay, great. Who else?
I'm
I'll
gonna-
share.
Okay. Is that,
I'll break the ice. This is Peggy.
oh, Peggy.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
I know I'm hardly ever on Wednesdays, and it's a pleasure to be on and to hear what you're up to, Susan.
Yeah.
I like this topic, and Freya and I got on, and what came up for me was an old memory, an old goal, actually, an old goal that I try to keep alive in my consciousness about peace in the world, peaceful world. And because I'm a trained artist, I was thinking, I don't know how I can make that work together in some kind of, so that's what came up. I don't have an answer. I'm not trying to solve a problem.
Mhm.
I'm just listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I thought I'd share that.
Thank you. Well, that actually goes into a question I was going to ask is if an idea comes up, like you have an idea and you've already want to do it with art, it's like what kind of creative ideas come up in order to make whatever that vision comes to you. So so I don't know if that occurred for anybody else, but often when really great ideas come up, like even for this yoga retreat, it's the question is, well, will anybody come? Will they enjoy themselves will I get the right and perfect spa or place to go? I mean, just all of those things come up and actually become sort of like a barrier. So did anybody come up with something they thought of where the sort of the knee-jerk reaction was, oh, I can't do that because?
Well, before we go into that,
Yes.
Deborah has her hand up. I think she wants to say something on
Oh,
your.
Deborah, I'm so sorry.
Please.
Deborah, please.
Deborah, please share.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am sitting in my car. I just got off from work and I just came home and said, I got to plug in. So I'm sitting in my car and
Glad
this
you're
was a
here.
good, yeah, I am too. What came up for me, which was really interesting, that this afternoon, earlier today, I go to the Dr. Dan group and I was I was explaining because I was so excited about this opportunity that I ran into recently with with a minister of TD Jakes. He has just written a book called Disruptive Thinking. And I was talking so much about this particular book and how powerful it was for me that, and how much it ties into this particular religious science and the oneness of spirit in all of us and operating, that I was explaining it to Reverend Ikea, and Grady missed it. And what immediately came up to me was to gift Grady the book.
Hmm.
And what was so powerful about this particular event was Peter put Grady and me together.
Ah.
I couldn't believe it. I
Oh.
was sitting up, I said, oh my God. And sure enough, I said, Grady, you won't believe this. But because of the discussion that we were having earlier and you missed it, the first thing that came up to me in this thinking was to gift you the book. And lo and behold, you happen to be my partner. What an event.
Yes.
So I just want to say, what a magic how God operates and pulls us
Yes,
together for everything.
indeed. Wow.
I'm
Thank you.
complete.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Deborah. That's wonderful. Oh, so just a story. Some of us have stories about ourselves. Maybe it's just me, but I had the story that I call the second banana story. And I'm pretty good at stuff, but I always feel like maybe I'm second best. Not quite the shiny one, but the sort of follow behind two, as a banana. Now, speaking of Costa Rica, you may imagine that there are a lot of banana trees there in Costa Rica. And so this is not a new thing, by the way, because I've been to Costa Rica twice before. But when I was there and really looked at the bananas on the tree, I had an epiphany, because there's no way to tell if there is a second banana, because they grow in a bunch and they're all connected. So there's no possible way to be a second banana. So I'm just reporting this so that I can say I gave up that notion of myself, that I'm second best or a second banana, because we're just all bananas and we're helping each other out here, like tonight. And having those wonderful coincidences happen, like Deborah was sharing. And that's the wonderful thing about community. So anybody else have something to share from the last with your partner? Okay.
Well,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
what came up that I had to do, this is Grady speaking,
Oh, hi, Grady. Mhm.
is to write legibly something to share. And so I don't know how I'm going to do that exactly. I know that you're an author. You've written a book, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I had it briefly, but a relative got a hold of it. And I think I like the way you write things. And so I could get into the meat of one thing and kind of, get into it and vet it out for myself. Now, she has recently gotten laid off from her position. So I think she plans on using it to segue into her own thing.
Oh, good.
So
That's wonderful.
I don't know that I'm up to a book,
Mhm.
but I can write down something that I can share, even if I formulated a bookmark or something like that. I could do something that I could share. So that's what I'm considering right now, and that makes me feel good. So that's
Oh,
thank you.
thank you, Grady. Okay, so you're talking about shining your light as well, and everybody has really followed that theme. Is there anybody else who wants to share before I move on? Okay, so you're on the road of life, and things kind of happen, and sometimes, well, let's just ask, are you a confident driver out in life? When you get in your car, you rev it up, you're ready, you back out of the driveway, and you know exactly where you're going. Or do you have days where you get in your car and you sit there and going like, I don't know that I really want to go anywhere today. I don't really have anything I have to do, and maybe I don't have to use the gas. So if anybody has had that experience, and I'm sure we all have, it's one thing I would recommend is if you're already in the car, just go ahead and just say, okay, I have a plan, something just came to me, I'll just listen, and I'm just going to drive out of the driveway and I'm going to get on the road. So that kind of works with getting on the road to life and moving forward. And Grady, you just gave a wonderful example of that, of an idea that came to you and you're acting on it. And that's beautiful. I mean, that is part of developing ourselves and sharing with others in our life. And so, but you also, I would imagine, also have some really wonderful ideas, but somehow you have messages that come to you that say, well, you can't do that because, or, well, I'm too old to do that. I'm too young to do that. I can't, just think of any of the excuses. And I would like you to think of something that you've been thinking about doing, big or small, and that some of those things have come up. And so we could break out and you would have a wonderful partner to just kind of share this thing that you really would like to get out onto the road and drive and experience, but you're a little afraid, you're not quite sure how to do that. And just find out what your partner has to share and ideas. So Peter, would you break us out into groups of 2?
Okay.
Thank you.
Unmute.
Keep forgetting to unmute myself. Well, good. Thank your wonderful partner. I think this last thing we don't have a huge group, put this out to the group, is when you have a really good idea, and some of them you have been sharing with each other, sometimes something comes in that says why you can't do it, the negative self-talk. And so I'm wondering if there's any, of course, none of us ever have negative self-thoughts, but no, that doesn't happen. But just in case, I would like to ask if anybody would share how they get out of that sort of state of saying, oh, I want to do this, but I can't do it because, and then you have a list of 5 reasons, all of which might be good. So I just thought I'd throw it out in case anybody would like to share some of their favorite ways to kind of stop themselves from moving forward with an excuse, if that speaks to anybody. Or
Constance, go ahead.
Constance, I didn't. Oh, you are Constance. Thank you.
Well, one of the things that's been my practice since I got at the center is that I have a regular practitioner. So I see my practitioner on a regular basis. And so when that stuff comes up and I'm not able to come out of it myself,
Mm-hmm.
I can call my practitioner and say, help me with this. And then recently I've been, since I started doing intentional creativity work, I learned to do something called metacognitive drawing. And I'm just finding that totally amazing. I've had some major breakthroughs in the last month just by doing this little simple process. And yeah, so those are some of the things. And so the more I do that, and I'm able to catch the negative stuff a lot quicker and rewrite it.
Nice.
So, you know, for me, it's a testimony to, you know, I think sometimes, well, I just can't say the praises enough of seeing a practitioner on a regular basis in terms of moving forward with our own consciousness and with our own ability to stop that negative self-talk
Mm-hmm.
and to move to places that we didn't think we were ever going to be able to move to.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Christopher, it looks like your hand was up.
I was changing this. Yes, for me, I have to stop. I mean, the first thing for me is to notice that I am bad-mouthing myself. I am a champion for my own limitation. And when if I can catch that, just see that, that returns me to a quieter place where I ask myself, what is it that I really want? What's really important to me? Is this something I should be doing? Is this something that will make other people happy? Is this my heart's desire? Is this really my calling? Or I don't know why, but I'm just pulled in this direction. And to take a look at what is it that I really, really want, which tends to clear, and then just listen, because something within me knows. And I get an answer.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? I guess we're coming to wrap up time. Those are really great examples and ideas for how to deal with self-talk, which is often very negative toward ourselves. And just really being able to say, well, how can I flip that? Or can I talk to somebody about it? And also, of course, talk to a practitioner, talk to a friend at the center. There's so many of us who are willing to just simply listen and be there for each other. So I thank you all for being here tonight. I actually changed my whole talk, but I hope this was valuable for you, because I really like to throw out questions and have people share so we can share together and learn from each other. And I feel like this has been very rich today. So thank you so much for being here. And Paul,
We're right on schedule.
we're on
thank you.
schedule?
I think it was perfect in every
Okay.
way. There are no accidents. I believe in divine timing and divine order, and you were perfect in every way today. So,
And thank you everyone for your heartfelt sharing. That was just wonderful.
yes, we're super glad everyone is here with us tonight, and we have some exciting announcements. So we're going to move right into those right now. Peter, when you're ready. And I have to do something, and now we're ready. Okay. May is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, a celebration of Asians and Pacific Islanders in the United States, and we celebrate with them here at the Oakland Center. Next Sunday, May 28th, Reverend Elijah Christopher, the spiritual director and senior minister at the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Cruz. That's a mouthful, you guys. He winds up our theme for May of Light Within the Shadow by speaking on lights, camera, action. Reverend Elijah is well known by many at the Oakland Center as they began their ministry while serving in the innovative Berkeley and Oakland young adult intentional spiritual community called the Launching Pad. Remember that, folks? Many of the young adults at the Launching Pad also attended and served at Oakland Center. Reverend Elijah and Reverend Sunshine are doing a pulpit swap on Sunday, and she will be speaking in Santa Cruz while they are speaking here. Meditation is at 10 a.m. and service is at 10:30 this Sunday. Wednesday, May 31st, practitioner Dylan McClintock will be joining us to follow up from Sunday and continue the discussion on lights, camera, action. Meditation is at 6:30 and service is at 7. And all of our Wednesday night services are by Zoom. 5 Gifts for an Abundant Life with Reverend Jerry Carter begins tomorrow. So you may have received an email trying to nudge you a little bit yesterday or this morning with details and the link to sign up. If it is your calling, as Susan talked about tonight, if you got called to attend a class, this may be the one you might want to consider. So please, if you've been thinking about this class, sign up now. And the information for that is on our registration link on the upcoming classes and workshop page of the website. You can also find it in the Village News. So if you've been listening and it says, I need a class about abundance in my life, here it is. Here is the result for you. The action you can take. This Friday, the Diversity Circle is hosting a talk and discussion on transforming community with presenter Sandhya Jha. They are an anti-oppression consultant, an ordained pastor with a master's degree in public policy. Sandhya is comfortable in the pulpit, on the picket line, or hanging out with friends and or friends to be over a good cup of tea and a good story. This inspired discussion takes place at 7 p.m. on Friday, May 26th by Zoom. A love offering is appreciated. Check out the Diversity Circles page under groups on our website. Now, I made a mistake about this, so I'm going to run with this mistake from 2 Wednesdays ago. Living the Science of Mind is a 1-hour book study. I said body study. It's a book study. But if it intrigues you to join, please join with Reverend Ikea Param and Tom Rose for a book or body study on living the science of mind. You can still join this Saturday, May 27th at 10 a.m. by Zoom. Remember to sign up to get the Zoom link. And again, check out the upcoming classes and workshops page on our website. And also, you can find this information in the Village News. Foodies and socializers alike, big news. Brunch is returning to Oakland Center this Sunday, May 28th, for a love offering of $15 to $10. This is a pilot project. This is not an every Sunday event like Ruth used to have, which I helped a lot along, and many of you as well. It's only a pilot project, but any Sunday when it does happen, we can eat in gratitude. So there will be a food presentation on Sunday after service. Save the date. Our practitioner class of 2023 is graduating on June 25th after service. Please join on that date to honor Peggy Cotton, who is here tonight. Maureen French also, I believe, is out there. We say hello and congratulations. Alice Knudsen, and Megan Lemon. Our brunch service will return that day so you can enjoy the food and then honor the graduates. This is the last Sunday to take advantage of the Spirit Treasure bookstore sales. The books for the study groups and classes, as well as the book of the month, are 30% off. And that's not all. All children's books and jewelry are also 30% off. Did you hear that, Susan Brown? Jewelry, 30% off. Christopher is cringing at that. So, as always, for information on all that is going on at the Oakland Center, visit our website and sign up for our weekly newsletter, the Thursday Village News. And remember, you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special updates and content you'll find only by liking and subscribing to OCSL. Please like us and subscribe to OCSL today. And look at this great team. These are our contact folks, people you can contact for information in any of these arenas. Dorothy is here with us tonight. Thank you, Dorothy. Reverend Sunshine says had a previous engagement, but sends her love. And Constance is here tonight. So some of the support, and Maureen's here. So a good portion of our contact team is here tonight. So thank you for joining us. So that's all the announcements for now. So let's move into our joyous giving time. So whatever it is that you have to offer to the center in giving, what creative gifts or financial gifts or even a good thought and a prayer for our continued expansion and sustainability at the center, take that gift and hold it close to your heart. Reverend Ikea calls it our portable temple to spirit. Hold it close to your heart. As I read this, please follow along our affirmation. This gift I give is God in action. It does good work in the world and blesses creation. And there's 5 ways to give, to financially donate at the center. There is on our main page, you click that donate button with the heart, and that will lead you to the next page, which shows you 5 ways. First way is the donate by credit card button up there in the left-hand corner, or by mail with the address that's listed there. You can also use that text number for texting, or you can join us on Sunday service with the offering basket, or you can use Zelle for people that know how to use Zelle. So all of these are ways that you can help financially support our centers with your loving and joyous gift. As we begin to close our service tonight, I want to thank the teams that make our event tonight possible. First and foremost, I want to thank Christopher Brown for doing our meditation and opening prayer. Thank you, sir, so much for your service. You make it all happen for me easily and effortlessly and gracefully. So thank you. Our wonderful speaker, a dear friend, family member of mine I'm adopted. I'm an Urquhart-Brown adoptee. Susan Urquhart-Brown, thank you, darling, for taking time to be with us and share your experience. Thank you for opening my mind for a moment that gave me a glimpse of an inspiration. And that, in this little teeny brain, a moment is like the Grand Canyon. So thank you so much. I also want to send a shout out to our ministerial support, our spiritual director and senior minister, Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman. She sends her love tonight, but we're so grateful that she allows us to continue the conversation from Sunday on Wednesday nights here. So thank you, Reverend Sunshine. Now, looking good and sounding good is one thing, not doable by myself. I have help, and it's not only in the makeup department. It's in the sound and lights department, the spotlighting, and the AV department. Let's give a big round of applause and thank you to Peter Gum up in Portland joining us, and the wonderful Alice Herndon in all the way from Oakland down by Lake Merritt, who make us look good and sound good. Thank you for your service, you guys. And finally, but not leastly, our administration support, the girl that keeps the glue all together in my house of popsicle sticks, and that's Constance Chapman. Thank you, Constance, so much. We appreciate all these folks. So in great appreciation as we close our service tonight, the way we began, which was in prayer, I'm going to ask our speaker, practitioner Susan Urquhart-Brown, if she's willing to close our service tonight with prayer. Susan?
Absolutely. So let's take a breath, going within to that space in the place of the oneness of the divine presence that is always available in every single moment. Just breathing that in, knowing that there is peace and joy and love and community and honesty and all of the wonderful, wonderful qualities that we have in our community at OCSL. And so I'm just thankful for everyone who participated in this service, the people who came, the people especially supported your speaker tonight by actually engaging and answering questions and being a wonderful audience today. And for Christopher for his beautiful prayer, Paul for all of his holding space and announcements, and Peter and more, who am I missing? Alex. Everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. We could not do it without each and every one and all of you who tuned in today. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and just join with me in closing this prayer by saying, and so it is.
It is.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.